Alright guys, today I'm going to go off the beaten track a little bit because I'm sick and everything's just morbid and fucking shit. So today I'm going to talk about something that's influenced my life for the majority of my life since I started doing it, and that was playing video games as a way of distraction. It does help. It does give you a sense of escapism, and we need escapism in this world, I find. And the more escapism you can find from facing the grim reality, probably the better for you, just as a sort of a medicine to the grim bullshit reality that we face. So today I want to talk about, because I've been watching these fucking Americans talking about the top 10 video games that they've played. And for me, video games have been very influential. I started playing them when I was about, I don't know, I mean, since I can remember, really. Started off with a Commodore, and I progressed through all the consoles. And my life wasn't very good as a kid growing up, so I used to escape with my video games because I didn't drink at that age, so I used to play video games. And they were good for the purpose of escapism. Just for the simple narrative, or the fact that you're basically in a story, but you're the protagonist, and you're interacting with that story. You are in that story, and you can change the direction or course of the story. And that's why I've always loved video games, for that specific reason. Anyway, fuck a top 10 countdown like the Americans do. I've been watching that shit all night, and they're all fucking idiots. None of them understand or grasp the concept of what a good game is, so I'm going to give you my top 3 games. I don't give you top 10 fucking stupid count. I don't give you top 3, my top 3. And at number 3, I'm going to give you Dark Souls. The reason I'm going to give you Dark Souls is just because it's Dark Souls. It's it's difficult, but rewardingly difficult, right? It challenges you. It makes you try and understand the dynamics of the game. So every time you die, you learn how you die. It's visually stunning. It has a storyline, which is there if you choose to focus on the storyline. It's there in the background kind of thing. You can ignore the storyline and just play the game and kill everything and do what you want. But it's there if you choose to. And if you choose to do it and pay attention to it, you are rewarded with one of the greatest storylines I've ever came across in a game. Albeit a bit patchy, but still incredibly grim, a struggle, a tale of darkness and light and fire and whatever. Yeah, it still has that storytelling, which is given to us by a Japanese guy. You know, a lot of the Japanese movies are significantly better than the Western stuff, and that's why I love this game. It's a broken up. It's like a Japanese guy's version of a Western old knight tale with armor and dragons and demons and all that, but from the viewpoint of a Japanese guy who doesn't fully understand the whole cultural thing, but tries to do it and does it better than actually you'd find with most Western people, because it's vague, it's confusing, it's twisted, it's sort of the narrative isn't quite like how you'd expect it to be. It's got twists, turns, puzzles, and brilliance. It's a beautiful game to really get your grasp into. And it's a long game, and it deserves its respect. The second game, unfortunately, I didn't find as rewarding as the first, but that's just what I thought. Now, number 2 is another Japanese game, and I think it was Konami, I think. But this is a PS2 release. Now, PS2, I mean, this game is so good, it still absolutely rocks all of the modern consoles in terms of its skill, its graphics, its gameplay, which isn't very much actually. This is the beauty of it. It's minimal. Basically, your task is to save your missus, your girlfriend, by basically running around hunting down giant Colossus creatures, which you have to sort of get their soul to save your missus, whatever. But the twist in it is so dramatic, and these beautiful giants that you see, you've got to crawl up them, and it's painstakingly brutal at times that they're trying to shake you off, and you've got to go around this certain point, and you've got to get the top of them. And it's just the fact that it's a metaphorical story in many ways. It's because you're this little guy trying to get up the top of this giant behemoth. Now that is a story which I think is a metaphor, the little guy conquering the massive behemoth. I think that's a brilliant story. But anyway, as you progress and you keep playing, there's no other things to kill other than these giants, and that's the whole... It's like the only thing that you have to fight is basically bosses. And the beauty of it is that a giant world where you've only got a scattering of giant, massive behemoths. And they get bigger and harder. And your task is to scale up them any way you can possible, get to the top of them and stab them in the brain or whatever, and then that'll help heal your dying misses. But the twist in it at the end, because these are also beautiful creatures, and the more that you kill them, the more there's going to be a negative effect. So the twist is a beautiful one as well. But on to my absolute best game ever, I think. It's Silent Hill 2. It's absolutely enthralling. It's incredible. It's the story of a man that has basically got a letter from his dead wife, who's dead, and telling him to come to this town to try and save her. Now, the whole aspect of this game, it runs a little bit like Fight Club, that it's all in James's head. Everything around him is simultaneously just happening in his head, and it's all very atmospheric, and the dialogue is off. It's sort of dreamlike. It's very bitty and bobby, and it's not making any sense. It's not coherent. It's just sort of dreamlike, and that's the whole beauty of it. The isolation aspect, the fog, the mystery, the surrounding, the fact that you're stuck in this town, you don't know what you're doing there. You're just trying to help this wife of yours who's actually dead, who sent you a message from the grave. Now, anyone would actually, in trauma or states of shock or whatever, would go and do the same. If they matched up the handwriting and knew it was her language, you go and do the same. The ironic thing is it's all in his own guilt. It's all in his own consciousness. And it's a beautiful game to play with dark aspects, light aspects, the soundtrack, the atmosphere. It's absolutely visually stunning for the PS2. And it's funny that my best games are on the PS2. We're going backwards, because the best games, I think, it's not about the graphics and all that, the detail. It's about the story and how characters progress in the atmosphere. And this has the best atmosphere I've ever came across in a computer game. It's stunning. It'll make you go from pillar to post and not understand quite what's going on, and that's the whole point of it. It gets in your head. And it's just the fact of being stuck in this crazy world, completely isolated, and meeting these weird characters in a dreamlike state. That for me is absolutely fantastic. And that's why I've done my little video game roundup, and I hope you enjoyed that. If you didn't, I don't really care. These are the best games that I've played, and I'm going to be pretty much adamant that these games will be probably the best games that are going to be around for a very long time. I mean, you got your Destiny and all that. It's all repeat action bullshit. These are proper games, and if you play video games, I would suggest you get a copy of them, or at least I don't know, watch a few YouTube videos on them. These are absolute gems, absolute fucking timeless gems, and that's all I'm going to say on that. And I hope you enjoyed this, and good night, goodbye, good day, whatever, good morning.